Welcome to Autism Knows No Borders, a podcast where people connected to autism inspire change and build community. Together with the Global Autism Project, I'm your host, Rachel Harmon, a professional with over a decade of experience in the field of autism services, outreach, and advocacy. The Global Autism Project partners with autism centers to provide clinical, administrative, and leadership training. Our SkillCorps volunteer program is an opportunity for autism service providers and self-advocates to travel to our international partner sites and collaborate directly with their teachers and therapists. If you're curious about what Global Partnership can do to improve autism services everywhere, you'll want to listen to this throwback episode with our Global Autism Project partner, Jayashree Ramesh. Jayashree is the founder and director of Academy for Severe Handicaps and Autism, ASHA for short, in Bangalore, India. We're currently accepting SkillCorps applications for travel in 2027. Begin your journey today at globalautismproject.org/SkillCorps. As a listener of our show, take advantage of the coupon code AutismPodcast, that's no space in all caps, to waive the application fee. Among other things, Jayashree and I discuss how to be a good leader and encourage teamwork among staff, lessons learned in challenging times, the impact of the COVID pandemic on autism services, the partnership between Global Autism Project and ASHA, aspects of Indian culture that Jayashree is proud to share with our SkillCorps volunteers, and tips for other professionals looking to start their own autism center. You'll also hear us talk about the 2019 Global Summit, which was our first annual conference. It was held in Bali, where all of our partners from around the world gathered for 1 week to share ideas, stories, and resources. Global Summit was also open for our SkillCorps alumni to attend and receive continuing education credit. In this episode, discover what's possible when you lead from connection. And now, I present you Jayashree Ramesh. Okay, Jayashree, well, you were talking about bringing together all these different professionals, different staff, and you manage many adults from various departments. So what have you learned about leadership over the years?
Yeah, leadership means different things, I think. One is, I think, the ability to connect with people. So I feel that if I'm able to understand who I am serving, whoever is my client or the family that has come to me for help, then I'm able to give better options to them. So in terms of what leadership is with my peers or my staff that we work with, you have to also lead by the front. So you have to be there, you have to face the challenge, you have to show them that you will stick with it and you'll be there because organization like this goes through a number of challenges and funding is one many times. So you have to, they see you in terms of distress and in terms of challenges, how you are actually dealing with it and how you will sustain the program, how you sustain yourself. So I think it's a lot of internal strength. You have to kind of really weigh everything and be sure that you're not working. Sometimes, it's just not, you have to be very careful. You have to hold your emotions back and then do what is right by everybody. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it means different things, really. It means a lot.
Yeah, how do you think your staff would describe your leadership style?
I don't know how to ask them that. Yeah, I think we have a very democratic kind of approach to everything at work. They don't fear to tell me, anything. So they have a chance to voice their opinion. They have a lot of freedom to choose, the way they want to work within the realm, of course. So I think they know, what it is that they can do. And there's a lot of respect. They do respect me a lot. So, yeah, I can give that. Yeah. But if I don't go there, they do miss me too. So.
Could you tell us of a time when you encouraged teamwork among your staff?
Yeah. When from the boss's perspective, okay? So when you have a large team of 20, 30 people, and then you have this project that you have to do, which is like out of their real job area, the question is, who do you pick for that? Generally, the idea is that, oh, I know that person can handle it, so let me give it the job, to the person. That's how we normally used to do, right? So, but what happens is then, sometimes we are not fair to the others, or we are unfair to that one person, and we kind of expect a lot from that person. So what we did was we said, okay, we will create a very democratic way of doing it, that we'll draw lots. So everybody's name is there, and then they have to pick it up, and then, whoever is going to be the team lead for the project, Emil, it's your choice. You got it. So it's a lottery. I had nothing to do with it. So we just started playing the lottery game for all of the activities out of the classroom, because there were so many things that we have to do within a school situation. So that I felt was a good strategy for two things. One is I was off the hook. I didn't, I didn't really choose anybody. But the second thing is that somehow I think universe chooses the right person. They got what they needed, Some of them who felt they could not do, were not really, volunteering, were put in that shoes, and they did so well. So then they realized for themselves that they had it, but the fear was stopping them, or whatever, the low confidence was stopping them. So that kind of a thing really worked out, and it's been a great thing. But now, of course, we know the roles and the responsibilities and what kind of projects. So there's generally somebody there to take care of things. Yeah, but it is interesting how people evolve when we put that challenge in front of them. And of course, we do support them. We just didn't leave them, to the tigers.
Right.
Yeah, we support them. But it is amazing. Just this last time during the pandemic, in the month of April, we said all of the teachers, all of the 35, 40 of them had to do a presentation and train the others. And they could pick up any topic that they wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
So this was the first time that many of them actually sat and did a PowerPoint, and they used the Zoom to be able to share, and brought in the knowledge, because it was a 2-hour presentation. So that means they had a lot of preparation that they had to do. But it's like, I was really thrilled. I saw so many good presentations, and they felt so good about it. That they felt that they could do. So it was very exciting.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So what's your big vision for ASHA?
Oh, now I have to retire. That's the only big vision. They will manage. That's fine. Now I think especially in the last 1 year, I feel that with these digital platforms and technology now, there's a lot that we can share with families in the smaller towns, in the remote areas, because many of us also speak local languages very well. To be able to reach out to those families, I think we have now a way, because the teachers can actually capture the videos of the way they're teaching their children, and all of that has become so good, and they're prepared now. They're quite happy to be sharing their skills. So I feel that is what I would like to work on for the next couple of years, is put down some good learning materials, training materials, and make sure that parents don't feel they're at a loss. Even if they don't have a trained professional in the vicinity where they're able to get physical assistance or go to a school, at least the parent must be able to get some assistance, can train, and she can work at home with the kids with our support. So I think digital tool is what we will have to look at, and then spreading what Global Autism Project has been doing across continents, we would like to at least now do, within our community, to reach out to the rural areas and make sure that people here, get trained, get good knowledge, the right knowledge.
Yeah, I think we're all learning from the pandemic what we thought were limitations are actually, just opportunities to think more creatively.
Yeah.
So how has the pandemic affected your center? I know you had to shut down at some point, right?
Yeah. We've shut down twice already, and I think they're now scaring us with the third wave. So it's really a mixed bag. Some of the families have done very well. Some moms, really got it. She was able to take the online support, work with the kids, luckily, and the kids have done very well. In fact, I keep joking that they've done better than being in school. So homeschooling is the way for them because some of the moms have really done. We did an evaluation with the kids. They were brought into the center, but almost 50 to 60% are having a very hard time. The families don't get a break. The kids are there all along. And because with the sleep disturbances and other behavior challenges, the other children are also getting affected. And everybody's on a digital platform now. All children are learning only through the digital mode. So there's a huge issues at home. Yeah. And not all families are very savvy with that and can afford to have all of the tools. So even accessing them was difficult in the beginning for us. So it took a while. I think many of them, especially now after a year, are ready. They want the centers to open. Just want the kids to go out, be there, be safe, but go out of the house. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the current situation in Bangalore?
There's no talk about centers getting open at all right now. Even the mainstream schools, no news of any of them opening. So it's just like we're getting up for the third wave now. So they're saying it's probably going to be October, November by the time we know whether it's going. When the vaccinations are on, we got most of our staff and parents all vaccinated. Round one, we have got vaccinated. We all have to go through the second one yet. So that is happening on one side, and we are running a whole lot of awareness things on COVID. And we got a pediatrician also recently to speak to the families on what it is, with children if they have COVID. How do you recognize the symptoms, and what do you do? And there is talk of setting up COVID care centers for children in the city. So other hospitals are working on that. So August is going to be quite a difficult month. I think that's going to be the challenge. We have to really see, are we going to go into any kind of problems? And where we are, Bangalore was one of the worst hit. Was one of the worst hit last month. April to June was very bad. So we have a long way to go yet.
Mm-hmm. So, putting it on the positive side, can you share a story of parents who have inspired you during this time?
Many of them. Yeah, when I see them struggle at home with the kids, but are able to catch on to what the teacher is saying and develop on their own, and they share videos of their children at home, and the way the communication has gone from just a tabletop activity into the homes, and it's like 3 or 4 families definitely stand out, and I'm so glad they have done that. And they have made sure they've attended all of the sessions online, and they've understood what the teacher is saying, and they're able to implement it. They're able to improvise, and they're able to add their own creative ways of doing things. In fact, I have learned quite a bit from moms when I attend their sessions. We recently, just last week, we had 8 moms share about how they're using the communication tools at home, whether it is just the visual cards or if they've used an app. And it was so exciting. And I didn't realize the kids are actually able to communicate so much. I hadn't seen that in a long time. So the therapists are working with the moms, but the moms had to share and see how they're doing it, because it was also for the other moms who are not getting it or not trying enough. We said, let the moms tell us. So, those sessions are really, really inspiring. And I feel that, yes, it'll be okay. They will take it forward. They will know what to do. So you get a feeling, that they're not so dependent. See, when they become very dependent on you, then there's a lot of pressure, because the kids are not doing well, and there's a lot of pressure on the teacher, and we don't know what's happening. But now we realize that the parent is also working equally at home. Then there's less pressure, and the child is getting. And best part is, you see the children, they are relaxed. They have happy faces. They're very smiling at the whole thing. So that indicates that something is right. So it was very good, very good. I enjoyed those sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for parents to also get to know their children more.
Absolutely.
And even be surprised at what they can do, focusing on their strengths.
Absolutely. Because we miss out so many things. See, within the classroom, it's a very structured environment. You have only that many activities and that many spaces. But at home, you find them in so many different dimensions. They are in the kitchen, they're out with somebody else, and there's a fight going on, and they're dealing with it. It's very dynamic, the home environment. If they are able to manage there, it's great, actually.
Yeah. Hey, Rachel here. We'd like to give a shout out to our SkillCorps 2024 title sponsor, Action Behavior Centers. We're excited to be partnering with businesses to create opportunities for employee development and growth through our SkillCorps volunteer program. SkillCorps business partners endorse employee participation in our SkillCorps volunteer program and provide support to selected employees through granting time off, providing funds to support team member fundraising, and much more. Thank you, Action Behavior Centers, for being a model organization in the industry. And now, back to the conversation. Okay, Jayashree, let's talk about your partnership with the Global Autism Project.
Yes, that was great.
How did you first hear about our mission?
I think it was on an email, and I had seen some work. I'd seen the website, and I had received a mail sometime back saying, "Are you interested in a partnership?" And that caught my attention, and we kind of looked in a little bit more. And then when we said that trained volunteers are going to help you, they will be here and they will work with your staff, I said, oh my goodness, this is an opportunity you can't miss. So the SkillCorps is what caught my attention. And I said, we need to explore this, a little more and see what it is. So, and then, we had the initial discussion with them to see whether we are going to be fit and is that what we want, what we want for our institution. I think it went off well, and I think we've had 2 or 3 visits, SkillCorps visits. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
What was that like for you to have SkillCorps at ASHA?
Initially it was, oh my God, trained people are going to be there from the US. We have to have everything in order and we have to be on the best and we have to show exactly what we're doing and everything. Then when we realized that it's going to be such a partnership, it's like, there's so much that they are going to take away from us and we are also going to learn so much in a very natural, non-threatening way. I think my staff had the best time because they had these volunteers in their classroom and they could sit down and have a discussion without me being there. It's good to have me out of the picture sometime. And then they discuss it and they were able to. And for also many of my teachers, it was like getting a reassurance from somebody saying that, hey, you are doing it. You're doing it, the right job. Okay, maybe you need to tweak it a little bit or maybe you will document it a little different. But, it was a good thing for somebody to say, they got that reassurance. But one great thing was, I think, the documentation. So we were doing it, we were documenting it, but I think we were not adequately documenting what we were doing. So I think that was a big plus. Now we are able to actually see where the children are moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been great if last year, had happened. Yeah. But I guess so. Definitely we'll look forward to when things are better and India opens thing for travel and everybody's safe. We'd love for that thing to happen again. And love for my staff also to meet other people, to be there. So
yeah, it is a true collaboration and partnership as you're describing.
Yeah.
So many of our SkillCorps volunteers go on these trips and come back having learned so much from our partners and are able to implement these new strategies into their own work with their families and children at their centers. So it's a two-way street.
Yeah, it's a two-way street because I think they also understood that how come we are able to work like this in such difficult situations, like, such small spaces and short of materials and stuff like that. But yet, the child is having a program and the child is learning and so many different languages and so many things. So I think it was an eye-opener for many of them too.
Mm-hmm.
It was good experience actually. And they enjoy coming to India. the food and stuff. They're a little scared in the beginning, but they enjoy the food and and the culture. Yeah, yeah.
What do you like to share about Indian culture with the teams when they visit?
One is, of course, the food, because we have such a variety of food, so they can enjoy if they're really, into it. But yeah, largely about the culture is that everything here begins with the family. So the family is at the crux of the whole thing, and then the lot of the responsibility is on the family, and it is here they have to understand is the families who have to seek out the service, and they have to go and actually look out for institutions. Nothing is handed over to them. So it is a family and coming together of families. Many times, they have to understand that the extended family members play a big role in our families. And the other thing is, of course, like any, I won't even say developing country, but where resources are quite short for such activities, how do you improvise? How can you be very careful with how you have to manage the resources? Those are kind of some of the things that we have to share with them. And the languages, we come from different backgrounds of language. Even within the community, there are so many cultural differences. So I think they have to understand that it is a very large country with, it's very, very dynamic. But the heart is in the place. They want the children to get better. They want to give the best. Every family wants to give the best education for their child. Mm-hmm. So that is what the family strives for.
So which languages do you speak, Jayashree?
My native language is Kannada, which is for South Karnataka. I also speak Hindi, which is the national language. I won't say 100%, but I'm quite manageable there. And I do understand other Indian languages. I don't speak very well, but two other Indian languages I can understand.
So at the center, what language do you all communicate in?
English is one major. Most of our reports and our testing materials and other things, IEPs, everything written, all of it is also written in English. The local language is Kannada, so a lot of families are used to having Kannada. So in the classrooms, you'll hear a lot of the local language. The children are used to it. The teachers are used to it. And because Bangalore also has other communities, like Tamil which comes from Tamil Nadu. So that is a big group. So there's also Tamil. A lot of our staff speak Tamil. So we have other languages, Malayalam, not much, but yes, a lot of South Indian languages. So 2 or 3 South Indian languages are there. But we stick to English, and then the local language is Kannada, 2 primarily, and maybe a third if the family wants it. So.
Okay. And how does religion overlap among all these different cultures in South India?
By and large, it's the same. Everybody practices the same worship at home. They visit the same temples and stuff, or religious spaces. We have the same kind of festivals, though it may, the dates here and there. We have a whole lot of festivals. We have so many celebrations. To about January, we're always having some celebration or the other. So not just one or two things. So inevitably somebody is on, taking a break because they have some celebration going on. But yeah, the Hindu religion, by far we worship the same gods and gods. We have numerous gods and goddesses to worship. And of course, the Christian and the Muslim population have their own. But we do observe holidays for all of the religious festivals. We are closed for a week for Christmas and, a few days here and there for the Muslim festivities. So, but yeah, at the center, it doesn't matter. We just observe some major events. That's it. Otherwise, religion is not a focus. Yeah.
Okay, so in this sense, religion doesn't play so much of a part in the perception of autism, specifically there?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we've never looked at it that way. But families do. I mean, in terms of going to places of worship and, doing whatever they need to do to ensure the child is doing well. So they have their own belief systems. But, not in our work. We don't.
Okay, got it. So you also attended our 2019 Global Summit in Bali. That's actually where you and I met.
Yes.
Can't believe it's been 2 years already.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what was that like for you to spend that week with all of the other partners?
Yeah, it's amazing. First of all, I always admired Molly and said that she was able to, reach out to so many countries and, people. So, but I could see that in person and see what it is like. And in all of the sessions when they were sharing, there's so many commonalities in the way we managed, especially when it comes to funding. Everybody's always saying there's not enough money. So
Yeah.
it was so funny. It says, nobody said, oh, there's enough money for autism. Everybody was, struggling. And we realized that autism is the same, wherever, whichever. The children have the same issues, the families are going through the same kind of issues. Largely, we're approaching the problem also in the same way, except, whatever is the basic constraints in each country. And again, shortage of trained staff. Most of the places I heard there's not enough people working in this space. So I felt that there is a great connect, and together with so many ideas. Every country, I think policies can definitely change with this
Mm-hmm.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah. But we are building a global network. And
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing that,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially now with our community online, it's a place for all of our partners from around the world to connect and learn from each other and share resources.
Yes. Yes. I would love for us to actually invite all of the partners to share about their work, for our community to see,
Mm-hmm.
and then hear from things. So I hope we can do that sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Jayashree, I'd like to close with one last question. What advice would you offer to other professionals who are thinking about opening their own center?
Here in India, I'll stick to that for now. Um, yes, because I get many calls many times, people asking me what is it that they need to do if they have to open a center. Um, I feel that a special educator or a professional who's technically qualified in autism, and who knows what to do with a child with autism, wanting to start a setup of their own is a good idea, is a great idea, because they would know what kind of a program they can put together. But also, I strongly advise them to ensure that in their team, they also have people who understand finances, who understand what it means to run a business, and somebody who can guide them about all of the legal frameworks. Because if we miss that, then what happens is, even if your program is doing well, it will sink you in, because you won't be able to sustain or be able to run your program. So you have to be aware of all the rules and the regulations and the laws and the legislation, so you're aware that you're not getting stuck anywhere. But a person at the helm who has good technical understanding, I think, will be able to bring in the best of professionals to be able to give what is good for their program and for their families. I think that is very important, because I don't think a business head sitting there will have an adequate understanding of autism to say, I would need all of these components in my program. They may not have the understanding, but it is a person who comes with technical skills. I think that will be great, but they would need strong support of somebody with business and finance. Then they're grounded and then all set. And if you can have a patron on your list, it's great, who can just write you a check and you don't have to worry about one paycheck. Then you're set for life. You don't have to bother at all.
Yeah, that's a dream.
Yeah, yeah, that's a dream. That's a dream. It should happen.
Okay, Jayashree, how can people learn more about ASHA and the work that you do there? Do you have social media account?
Yeah, we have a website that's up and running, and we are on Facebook and on Instagram. I am not very active on social media, but my team is, my staff, and yes, they can connect with us on Facebook. And
Okay. Just so you can say it out loud for the listeners, what is your website and your social media account?
ASHAforautism.com. That is www.ashaforautism.com is the website, and ASHA for Autism you'll see on Facebook. And I guess that's the same thing for Instagram. So,
Okay, great. I'll put a link to all of your information on our show notes.
okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Jayashree.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Autism Knows No Borders. Do you have a personal or professional connection to autism? Travel the world and contribute to high-impact projects with a global team of autism professionals and advocates. Visit our international partner sites and collaborate with local stakeholders on outreach initiatives in their communities. Join us today at skillcorps.globalautismproject.org and use the coupon code AutismPodcast to waive the application fee. Thanks for listening. Take care.